Well, hello VC. Hey, welcome to my channel. Got another little video for you. I'm going to do a little bit of back on the Led Zeppelin again. And classic records, reissues. But this is something that I've got. Kind of talked about it in one of my last videos. I bought one of these. You see this 4 LP box set like this? If you're going to get Led Zeppelin 4 like this nowadays, well, there's two of them on eBay. They're at $800. Who's doing that? Nobody. That's why they're still on eBay. But they did have this one record, and it's got Black Dog and Rock and Roll, and it was like, you know, $70. So I figured, well, I can afford that. I'm not going to spend $800. But that's my two favorite songs off the record anyway. And I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple things that I talked about on a video with the Jethro Tull and the Captain Beyond. I've been thinking a little bit about what some of those things. And now remember, the Captain Beyond, we had the first edition on the Warner Brother label, and then we had that reissue on the Victor Records out of Japan. Well, you know what? That was also a first edition because it was a different record company altogether. They got the tape and they made another first edition. That's why it sounded so fantastic. That's why it was even better than the first, you know, the one that was pressed in 72. That one was made in 76 and it was so much better. That's the one to get. And so, you know, in my last video, I talked about, well, didn't go. So that's what it is. They're both first editions. They're both original presses because it's two different record companies making the same record. And now the Jethro Tull Aqualung, you know, what I never did discuss was that, you know, Classic Records has also got a 33 1/3 version of that record that they put out. And they're, you know, they're around $80, $90, $100 depending on the day or who's ever selling them on eBay. Maybe, you know, of course, more, of course. But I didn't talk about that one. And like I said, I had all the umpteen different versions of it, you know, the Japan version, the Canadian first press, the UK green chrysalis, and the Canadian green chrysalis, and, you know, on and on and on. I had all kinds of them. And I had the Japanese first edition, and I had the DCC by Steve Hoffman press of that record. And then I got the 33 1/3 Classic Records version, and my goodness gracious, that one is by far the best of all of the ones that I mentioned. You could really hear on the acoustic guitar when he's playing, you can hear all those harmonics between all the different strings. And I'm going, wow, this is really, and I had read back in the day that they had done a great job of that. They went and got the original master tape and they made and it is the best sounding one. And of course the review I did was the 4 LP version of that record. Because to get that 4 LP version, you know, if you're gonna, I figured if I'm gonna spend $100 on to get the 33 1/3, I got a deal on that one. I only spent, you know, that much over again, and I got that set. So that's the way I did it. And of course, I was very, very impressed with that 4 LP. But that 33 1/3 now, that is phenomenal. And that's kind of what I'm talking about right here. Again, this is the Led Zeppelin. This is, you know, Led Zeppelin 4 SD 720845A1. This is your Clarity vinyl. Okay, Clarity vinyl, one-sided record with 2 songs on it. It's one of the LPs that would be in this 4 LP box set. Side A1 with Black Dog and Rock and Roll on it. And so what I did, I compared it to this record. The 33 1/3 version, and of course you all know this is better. But you know what? It's not a lot better. It's just a little bit better. So if you can't afford to spend $800 to get the 4 LP on the box set like this, don't worry. If you can swing this, get this thing, that is just a fantastic sounding record of this Led Zeppelin. Yeah, I got this. It's a little bit better, but this is fantastic. Okay, now we've covered that. And now we're going to get into a little more Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin 3. Oh, it's upside down. Led Zeppelin 3. This is the reissue. This is the 2014 reissue from Atlantic. And what I did was I went out and I purchased, because I didn't have this before. I just had the Canadian domestic reissue. I never bought that when it came out. So I saw it on eBay here just recently, mint shape, got a really good deal on it. I was happy with the price I paid. And so I said, you know, I need to buy that because I need to compare it to this. And when I did, okay, now I've had a few folks lately, you know, because I've got a few different videos about these Led Zeppelin records, the new ones, the reissues, and how I'm not really happy with the way they sound. And some of the folks are messaging me back saying, well, you know, those records really do sound good. It's just kind of sour grapes because you spent all that money on the Classic Records reissues. And I'm like, no. I only paid, you know, $29.95 when the records came out because I bought it when they were new. I didn't pay $150, $200. I'm just, you know, I really wanted these new reissues to sound better because they could have. But, you know, we've been through all that. Classic Records, Atlantic decided not to do that. And so when I compared these two, you know, of course, this one's going to be better. And the more I listen to it, this is basically, haven't watched my other video that I made, but I think it's about, I'm going to repeat myself. This basically just sounds like a CD. You know, CDs sound pretty good. They're very clear. They're very clean. That's what this has. But what it doesn't have all the information that this one has. Because, of course, it's what do you compare it to? And when you compare these, the acoustic guitar, like when I played Gallows Pole, he's playing the acoustic guitar. And all those harmonics between all those strings, it's missing. And when he starts to sing, and of course when you drop the needle and it starts, you get a sound stage. It's got a lot of information on here about placements of instruments and the recording where it was recorded, the space in the hall, all that kind of analog kind of stuff. That's why people buy records. Is missing from this record. But it does sound good. It sounds clean. There's a lot of nice things about it. But here's the deal. If you're going to buy this record like this, just buy the CD. Why waste your time buying the record? Because it sounds just like a CD. So this thing, you know, when Robert Plant starts singing, you can hear there's a bit of some echo in there. You can hear the ambience in his voice. And of course, when they really get going on here, and there's a lot of stuff going on, that's when that digital starts really getting at you, and it starts hurting your ears. It's just, but on here, you know, the bass is a little deeper. You can hear the cymbals are a little more clear. The Robert Plant's voice, when he really starts, you know, getting in those high notes, it doesn't crackle like it does on here. Crackle maybe is not the proper word, but you know, it just gets irritating. That high end of that is getting on my nerves. Here it's not. It's clear on here. And basically, like I said, it's like listening to a CD version of the record. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And take care. Bye for now.